Good evening, and welcome to WNSB News. I'm your host, Sterling Weran, and tonight's top stories include protesters gathering downtown going against masks, vaccines, and pedophilia.
Hi, my name is Santiago, and I'm a third-year film student at Simon Fraser University, and I'm one of the creators of WNSB News. WNSB News is a directed studies project where we created sort of like a public access television community news show where we built a news set and we got all this news equipment and then we went out on the streets and started doing news stories.
Live from the field on sports.
These days you can't even get out of the house without seeing some sports.
Baseball, volleyball, basketball, lawn bowling, stick fighting. Oh boy, a real fire.
We wanted to explore things like characters playing roles in everyday life, performance, what it means to be the news, how the news can bring communities together, and what happens when you start asking people questions about things that they really want to talk about.
But just when you feel you're out of luck, boom, an election happens, and there we go. We're off running again, hitting the road, finding the news for the people. How come you guys haven't voted yet?
Well, don't you have to go in? You have to register.
I just don't know enough about politics.
And we are with Mr. Smith, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He is Bryn Smith, the candidate for the NDP. He's his dad. We have just found other reporters reporting on this event as well. And which brings us to our other story of where do the news get the news. And you guys are with CBC?
French CBC.
Oh, the French CBC. Oh, okay, cool. Where do you guys usually get the news from?
My name is Sterling Weran, and I'm a fourth-year theater performance student here at Simon Fraser University. And I play the anchorman here at the WNSB News. My favorite part of the show was the incorporation of comedy and clowning throughout the entire show. It was present in the studio here with Santi and myself here in the studio, as well as the streets where Santi braved the public.
November.
Why WNSV?
That's just the name of the group. It's like a
What does it stand for though?
weekly news show business.
NSB. Hey, yeah, but listen, okay? A gathering like this of people wearing no masks is exactly the excuse they need. You just gifted them the outbreak that they're going to use to justify this for another year. You know? Oh, geez, keep America great. Wow, you're into... Wow, you really want to...
Are you judging me for something, sir?
Well, you know,
you
like we're here to protest against masks, yeah.
Or is that so? So you get to decide what protests and who protests what?
So
or
sorry,
anything
is
like
that not what we're here for?
Is that, I don't know. Is that why you're here? Are you going to tell me what I'm here for? Maybe you know me better than I do, sir.
Some of the concepts that WNSB brings together are the tropes of news and what makes news, as well as the problems with it, as well as concepts of clowning and comedy duos. Now, can you ask him, what's better, managing the cats or the people?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, there you have it. This is a really nice place to come visit. Just for the day or for the weekend.
Hi, I'm Niall. I was behind the camera for most of WNSB. WNSB News was a project we all started to try and reveal the hidden truths that people might try and hide in the roles they play in their own lives.
And it talks about all of the different transphobic things that J.K. Rowling has said.
Are you a big Harry Potter fan?
So see, I've read everything J.K. Rowling has ever said, and she's never said anything transphobic of the sort. In fact, you were forced to take down a tweet and give a half-assed apology. Are you taking back that apology right now by stating that she's still a danger to children?
I never made an apology because I stand by what I said.
I see.
Are you representing J.K. Rowling?
No, I'm representing myself.
Why? What is a big stake for you here?
That's a big conversation. You want to have a conversation in a minute?
No, I want to know why you felt like this was the right time for you to come and ask these questions in the middle of my interview.
Well, public street, I think I have that.
Yeah, but we was interviewing her. Why do you get to interrupt my interview?
I just felt like it.
Okay, so that's not really nice. Do you mind giving us a sec?
Sure, I'll give you a sec.
Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to what we were saying.
When we would show up to the location, I would kind of try and take in as much of it as I could, see where Santi was going with it in the interview and how I could kind of bring the location and the world into the comedy of what we were filming. Yeah, I mean, I kind of had one eye to the eyepiece and the other eye open, and I was just shifting and shuffling as we went.
They're demanding medical freedoms and informed consent and free speech and privacy rights. The good news is all these things already exist, so they must have done a good job already.
I saw one of the roles for me as a reporter on the field was to help people tell the story or to talk about something the way they wanted to talk about something.
Was it concerning to eat a brunch with the fire raging?
A little bit. No, not too concerning.
I'm here with Corinne Lee, CEO and boss lady of the Rio. How is it going with the Rio right now?
Well, right now it's not going so great because of the recent health order from Dr. Bonnie Henry. Movie theaters are closed.
And just find a way to let them settle into these moments that we were sharing together. I always wanted to organize the interviews in two parts. The first part is where I would ask them pretty much what they were there to talk about, and they'd come ready with their answers. But then I wanted the interview to kind of keep going, so it was also an exercise in duration, so that I wanted them to feel slightly uncomfortable as the interview went on, and then have them settle into another comfort zone where they could then really talk about themselves. And my questions weren't meant to be too pushy. Mostly the question that I would always ask them is, besides this thing, what is something else that you like to think about? Or what's something else that you like to do?
We're here live with David William McEwen, President and CEO of the East Van Baseball League. Can you summarize what the East Van Baseball League is?
First, we're an all-inclusive league, so anyone looking to play can come and join us.
And then besides baseball, what are other kind of dreams and stuff? What kind of things do you think about?
I'm pretty simple. I want to get some cats sometime.
What kind of cat?
2 cats, I don't know. Adopted ones.
One thing I learned through this process was how long things can take to take its true form. This was an idea that began early June of 2020, and it didn't really start seeing its full image until the end of the year.
Because in Vancouver, when it rains, it pours.
Thanks, Kim.
B is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore and love.
Something I learned from being on this project is just throw down your ideas and keep going and don't look back too much. I think that was probably my favorite part. I hope when people watch WNSB they get a light chuckle and kind of smile at the absurdity of everyday situations and try and find some of that for themselves in their own life.
It seems like the police have identified some suspects, and they have... Okay. But then we wanted to get the car in the background. What do you think happened here? Well, the police have just taken in a suspect. And they seem to have found sticks and lighters and all other kind of things that they're pretty sure started this fire. Out of everybody here, they decided to stop the one guy that didn't move. The one guy that just sat here, and now they're going through all his stuff, looking for clues for how this fire started. Any hot leads, officer? Have we found her? Is this... Should we run?
So this is cars sitting by poverty?
I think that's what they're thinking here.
Every time we drive somewhere and we'd be sitting in the van and we're about to go out and go do a story, it would be terrifying. And you'd think, like, why am I doing this? And what's the point? And am I pretending to be a news person? And then you would just do it. And it would be really rewarding for everybody. It would just be an exercise in listening and an exercise in letting people speak their truths. So that was really nice.